All right, you guys, it's your girl Sandra D, the main event, and welcome to my channel and to my community. I want to say hello to all of the subscribers who have subscribed to this channel, and if you haven't subscribed, what you waiting on? Okay, we are on this journey of talking about the narcissist. So we will not be talking about hair and we will not be talking about food. We are on this journey of the recovery from being in toxic relationships with the narcissist. So today we're going to actually talk about why are narcissists so immature? Like, oh my God. The narcissist is immature because they are still living in the past, in their past trauma, in their past hurts, in their past pain, and in their past of rejection. This is where it started with the narcissist, okay? They did not receive the love of their parent or their caregiver. And instead of them being loved and nurtured and cared for in a healthy way, they were abandoned or they lacked the attention that they needed to get from their parents. So as a way for them as kids, they built this alter ego to be able to protect themselves. However, when you have someone that is broken and they never healed, then they are not going to be able to understand how to have healthy relationships, okay? Because they're so stuck and so wounded from what happened to them in their past, they can't develop to understand the difference between when someone is coming from a loving place versus when somebody is actually trying to take advantage of them or belittle them and make them feel less important. So what they do is when they build this alter ego, they use it as a way to protect themselves, to disconnect themselves from their emotions. Okay. Now, do narcissists have emotions? Yes, they do. And majority of the time, those emotions that they have them, which is why they're so immature. So when you're dealing with an adult who is a narcissist, you're actually not dealing with the adult side of the narcissist. Because when they're mimicking you and they're mirroring you, what they're doing is actually making a replica of who you are. Okay? So that when they introduce themselves, you feel like you have this connection, but you never had the connection with them in the first place because that's part of their manipulation. Okay. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're actually not dealing with a grown adult. You're dealing with a child who has never grown up. As I call it, the Peter Pan syndrome. And as one of the ladies in my community, she calls it the Wendy syndrome. So for the women, you're dealing with a man who's never grew up. That's the Peter Pan version. Okay. For my men who's out there and you're dealing with a narcissist woman, that's your Wendy syndrome. Okay. So you can understand that you're dealing with someone who has unresolved issues. Okay. And with those unresolved issues comes a whole lot of pain that they're trying to cast onto you to take the responsibility of what they didn't get when they were children. So when you're talking to the narcissist and the narcissist doesn't like for you to tell them no, just like a child. When have you told a child and you took them somewhere and you could not get them something that they wanted and you let them know you couldn't do it, but then they're going to go with you anyway and then going to try to grab it anyway, just to try to run some game on you. And then you tell them no, what's the first thing they do? Cry, pout, throw fits. Be calling names. I don't like you. I hate you. Why can't I have this? Just like a narcissist. If you have kids, Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you a auntie or an uncle and you got some nieces and nephews, you know what your brother and your sister is going through with their kids. Or if you took them out yourself to watch them, to babysit them, to give the parents, a night off from their kids. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, if they want something and you make something for them and you tell them this is what's going to be for dinner, what they'll tell you, I don't want this, and move it out the way. Okay, same thing with a narcissist. Okay, same exact thing that you're dealing with. Okay, this is going to help some of you guys who have been hurt and you've been looking at this situation like, I can't believe that this happened. Believe that it happened, but you were manipulated and there's no way you would have known this. Okay, so you probably were sad and you probably were mad. But when you start looking at the narcissist for what they are, immature children that never grew up, that's broken and living in the past pains, you're going to heal and you're going to realize you've been duped by a child, a grown child. Okay, a grown person in an adult body who is still a kid. Mentally, emotionally, okay? They may look like an adult, but they're children. You ever had somebody say, that person is way too old to be acting like that, childish? What do you think you're dealing with when you're dealing with a narcissist? You're dealing with an individual who is still stuck in their past. In those past wounds, those past hurts, that past trauma, that past rejection, that past abandonment. This is why they stalk you the way that they do. If you discard the relationship, you leave the relationship, they trying to figure out why you left, because for them, it's rejection all over again. And they're not going to change and say, I'm going to take accountability and responsibility. They ain't going to do that because they want you to take the responsibility, because they're still acting like a child, because they are. They're grown up adults that are still stuck in the past as a child. This is why narcissists are so immature. Okay? This is why they behave the way that they behave. And this is why relationships with narcissists never last and they don't work out. How you gonna have a relationship with a kid? That's a child. The only thing that you can do with a child is correct. Okay? You're dealing with a child. You're dealing with the child that is within them that never grew up. And it's not your responsibility to sit in a relationship and try to help someone who obviously don't want the help to begin with. Because if they wanted help, they would have did what they needed to do to be able to change. But they like the way that they are. But they also know that that's not the right way for them to live, but they don't care. They'll still keep going around the same mountain and beating their head up against the wall. Because you can lead a horse to the water, but you sure can't make him drink. So please don't feel like you obligated to stay in any type of relationship with a narcissist, because you are not obligated and you are not God. You cannot heal them. And if they won't help, they'll go do what they need to do to get it. When you are in need, you don't go looking for somebody else to help you. You go to the appropriate people that you know that can assist you and help you in your time of need. And you got an A, B, and C, but you're not going to take advantage of the situation. No. And like I told you, and I'm going to keep telling y'all, you don't owe the narcissist anything. They owe you everything. And it is not your problem, nor is it your fault of what they went through. But for them to put that on you and make you feel like you did all of these bad things to them, when they're not addressing the truth of the people that hurt them in their past, but trying to make you make up for something that you didn't do and you wasn't even involved in, and you coming from this loving, caring, nurturing place, how dare you? And this is how you need to look at them. How dare you? That doesn't make you mean. You have to have boundaries. And you have to look out for yourself. and not put the narcissist before you, because they are attention seekers. You ain't got time for that. Because a healthy person knows how to spend time by themselves and how to be with people. Not a narcissist. They feel like they got to be all eyes got to be on them. They got to be the center of your world. Now, where they do that at? That is not a healthy relationship. So why are narcissists immature? Is because they are still stuck in the past. Okay, they're stuck in their childhood past, and they never healed, and they never did the work to be able to look within themselves, to be able to change their behavior and knowing that it's not right. Now, what happened to them was not their fault, but when you grow up and you never properly healed, and you're taking advantage of the situation of people when you're an adult, that is definitely your responsibility, and you need to be held accountable for it. So this is why dealing with a narcissist in a relationship doesn't work out, doesn't pan out, why they are so childish, is because they're immature and stuck in their past trauma. All right, you guys, remember, you are destined for greatness, and I will see you in the next video.